Aloha, and welcome to another edition of the Collector's Corner, brought to you by the Tainted Glove Network. I am your host, Aloha Mr. Han, the man of notorious and questionable character. Um, as you know, the Collector's Corner was an initiative that I started during the pandemic to try and get my arms around my memorabilia collection, and it's been really fun and interesting and sort of frustrating at times doing this because there are some things where I look at it, I go, oh wow, I forgot I met Yogi Berra, just to throw out an example, and I did. I met Frank Robinson, Whitey Ford, guys like that. And then there's other autographs I have. It's like, who the hell is this? Like one I got from Sox Fest in, God, what, I don't know, 1996 with like Kip Wells and Lorenzo Barcelo. Um, Garland was on there, so it's got to be a little bit later. And and other things where like I got a Joe Theismann autograph, Washington Redskins. Yes, Redskins helmet. I know that's not politically correct, but that's what the team name was at the time. That's the logo on the helmet. So I don't even remember getting that, to be honest with you. So it is what it is. But today I wanted to spray to all fields. And one thing you'll notice before I get started, I did go to another place in that I have storage in. Uh, that for some bigger items, so they can't be easily moved and carried and stuff like that. So I do have that as well. So you'll see some separate videos attached here, outlining a couple items that I have in a separate area here in storage, just because of the size of them. It's not easy to carry them in here and things like that. So with that, let's get started. First item is I was asked a question on Twitter recently about what's my favorite card of all time. And it's funny because I'm a huge fan of the 1976 Oscar Gamble Topps card. That one, if you've ever seen it, is him wearing a Yankees hat with the afro just flowing out. It just cracks me up every time. And as someone who's follically challenged, I am very envious of it. But I had to answer my favorite card of all time is one that I do not fully own. I own shares in. And what I mean by that is there's a company called Rally Road, Rally, who has who buys sports memorabilia. They buy comic books, wine, cars, jewelry, and you could buy shares in those particular items. Like for example, I received a notification yesterday that I had bought 30 shares in a Batman #1 comic book published in 1940 that was graded at like an 8, I believe it was. And there was a record offer made to buy it outright and buy my shares as well as everyone else who invested in it. So you can buy some stuff that you think is cool and have ownership in it and also possibly make some money along the way. So I highly recommend Rally Road to anyone who can get in there and find stuff that they like. But getting back to the point, my favorite card of all time is one that I own 15 shares in. I own 15 shares in the Holy Grail. That's right. This is my stock certificate for the 15 shares of the T206 Honus Wagner card. That's right. I have 15 shares of this baby. Uh, it is not the highest grade one. It is not as far as I know, the McNally Gretzky Honus Wagner card is the highest graded one, and it is now owned by Ken Kendrick, who is the owner of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and I believe he has it on loan to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Um, if you ever get a chance, look for his book with his card collection in there. It's fascinating to see some of the items he has because he has top-notch, highly graded stuff. We're talking uh, PSA 8s to 10s basically on everything. That includes Babe Ruth cards, that includes Gehrig cards, the 52 Mantle card he has, a rookie Fleer Jordan card he has. I believe that's a Gem Mint 10. But it's a great book to read if you're a collector like me. So I highly recommend it to anyone who can. So moving on, in November at the Chicago Sports Spectacular show in Rosemont, there was an announcement made, the initial announcement of March signees for the Chicago Sports Spectacular show in March was printed out on a flyer. One name struck me that has never appeared in Chicago I don't know how long it's been since he signed, to be honest with you, but he will be in Chicago, and he is by far one of the true legends in his sport. He ranks right up there with Gordie Howe and Wayne Gretzky in hockey. There is an argument for three names as the greatest hockey player of all time: Gordie Howe, Wayne Gretzky, and this gentleman. Number four, Bobby Orr. Bobby Orr of the Boston Bruins will be signing in Rosemont in March. I picked this up for $10. I'm gonna try and get him to sign it here. It'll be fucking sweet. And the prices are a little expensive. It's what I mean, you're talking someone of that ilk. It's like you're talking about Willie Mays in baseball signing, okay? Sandy Koufax signing. That's the level you're talking about with Bobby Orr. So I hope to get that signed. And one of the things I also did, I bought a print from SI of the Sportsman of the Year cover from December 21, 1970, that I hope to get him to sign as well. I think this would look really sweet framed. And I have another example of one of these that I did get signed so you can see it. You know what? I'll show it to you right now. The one that I have already signed is the Reggie Jackson Super Duper Star Sports Illustrated cover from 1974 during his time with the Oakland A's. I'm trying to move it so you can see it without the light glaring on it. You can see Reggie Jackson number 9, which is the jersey number he wore in Oakland when he came up into the majors. He wore 44 his last year in Oakland when he retired at the end of the 1987 season. By the way, final game at Old Comiskey Park, saw it. And I did talk to him about it a couple years ago when I had a chance to meet him. We shared a good laugh about something. He complained about how you basically had to to get a home run out of that park, you had to put it in a cannon to hit a ball out of that park. So it was a rather funny discussion. It was me, him, and Pete Rose having a discussion, which was really interesting because Pete Rose hated everything I said because Pete was talking about crap, and I said, Reggie's team beat you in the 72 World Series. He got mad at me about that, but oh well. But yes, so this is another one that I actually had signed. You can see it's authenticated at the bottom here by JSA, James Spence Authentication. I alternate between PSA and JSA, and part of the reason why I got JSA on this one is because they were offering a service, $10 day of signing authentication. So they were there and they saw it authenticated. You pay $10, they slap the sticker on, and they certify it as authentic. So you gotta like that. Another item I got at that same show as Reggie Jackson that I also had authenticated is this one. I will say, let me back up a second. This one I will say is a nod to my friends Yumper and Zvo at the show, to their podcast, because this is a celebrity one, not a sports one. He did make a somewhat famous sports movie, but this is not that movie. This is a different movie. This is one of the most memorable movies of the 80s because of one scene involving Peter Gabriel's song In Your Eyes. So here is a poster from the film Say Anything, signed by John Cusack. You can see down here, JSA authentication. He was at the Rosemont show, I want to say it was March. Last March, he was there and did a signing for people, and I'm sure White Sox Dave was very sad and depressed that he missed him. So moving on, a couple more items, and then one of the things I also did, I have an alternate storage facility here that has some of the bigger items I have. So I went there and recorded with my cell phone a couple of the items I have there. So I'm going to attach that at the end of this so you can see it, and then I'll come back with a final wrap up and everything else. But the next item I have is a print I received from the Hall of Fame of Rickey Henderson, that I actually got Rickey Henderson to sign. You can see it there. This one I did get authenticate. Yeah, there it is. There's the Spence authentication. I don't know if you could see. I have to move it so you can see my thumb by it. But yes, I did get it authenticated through Spence. Same rationale as the Reggie item. and Say Anything poster. I like this. I jokingly said to him, "Why were you mean to the White Sox all those years?" He laughed and said he was having fun. Another print I got from the Hall of Fame that I have not gotten authenticated is one that I actually had personalized to me. He was nice enough to personalize it to me. That's right. It's a Cal Ripken print. It says, "To Pete, you're the man, Cal Ripken Jr." Nice guy. This is a print representing him, 2,131, breaking Lou Gehrig's record in September of 1995. One of the coolest things was an actual teammate of Lou Gehrig was at the game. That would be Joe DiMaggio. Was at the game with Ripken when he broke that record. And unfortunately, it was September of 95. It was a couple weeks after we lost Mickey Mantle because he died in August of 1995. And Jerry Garcia, too, died in August of 1995, about 2 or 3 weeks after his last show with the Grateful Dead at Soldier Field. So, with all of that wrapped up, I am going to now attach the videos I took at my at the other place I have memorabilia here, and let you see what I got there. This is a homage, if you will, to the 1983 All-Star Game, the 50th anniversary All-Star Game. There's the program, see a ticket stub, an team autograph baseball, another team autograph baseball, another stub, a full ticket, a first day cover All-Star Game, and another ticket autographed by the All-Star Game MVP Fred Lynn. The distinction between these two balls, one is a signed American League team ball, the other is a signed National League team ball. Yes, I have both team balls. They are all framed together, and I'm zooming out a little bit so you can see the whole thing. There you go. Another item is, this is a collection of 6 autographed baseballs from what was supposed to be the White Sox core, if you will. So far, hasn't looked that well. Hasn't performed that well. He retired. And so, really, you still have Robert, you still have Cease, you still have Eloy, you still have Kopech. Jake Berger is a big question mark, too. And Alec Hansen is retired, so this may amount to something. So far, it's not looking like much like it will, but I'll zoom out so you can see the whole thing. There you go. Another item, you know I had to have this since he's my favorite player, is an autographed Johnny Bench jersey. It is not a game worn. It is a Cooperstown Collection 1975 Johnny Bench jersey. You can see the label there. You can see one of the pictures, To Pete, best wishes, Johnny Bench. And then another drawing illustration that I really like that I got him to sign for me as well. To Pete, best wishes. You'll see the jersey has been authenticated. The signature has been authenticated by PSA. This is a Mitchell and Ness jersey. There is the man's signature right there. And then the number 5, retired by the Reds. And by the way, if you're going on the 108 Sox Machine trip to Cincinnati, Saturday is the Johnny Bench Funko Pop Day, so you bet I'll be in line early. One last item I have, a golf flag pin flag from the 1992 Hall of Fame Classic, the Johnny Bench 1992 Hall of Fame Classic. You see autographed right there, PSA certified right there, in a nice red frame. I really like this piece too. Zoom out a little bit so you can see it. Welcome back. That's all I got at this time, folks. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any requests want to see if I got something, please feel free to let me know. Can't guarantee that I do, but I can certainly look. With that, thank you very much. Hopefully you follow all of the different shows on the Tainted Glove Network. Of course, the Tainted Glove podcast with myself and the Honorable Reverend K-Fids, Yumper and Zvo at the show with, of course, Yumper and Zvo, and the It's Getting Drafty in Here podcast with the Magnificent Stan. And let me tell you, those guys Yumpers, Vo, and Stan have absolutely been killing it. Quite entertaining stuff. This is being recorded on January 28th. I know on January 29th, the Yumper and Vo podcast will be doing a comparison of Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal movies. I am not a fan of Brussels sprouts, just so you see whose side I am on. But with that, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and aloha.